Hey y'all, welcome to Abstract Beyond Conversation. We made it to another episode, and today we have our special guest, Mark Morden. We're going to hear a little more from him in a
Yes.
second. I'm Stephanie Fazikis, and my wonderful host,
T.
is in the building. Today we're going to talk about imposter syndrome,
Yes.
and we're going to do some watercoloring, paint. We're just having fun, y'all. So there is no
Right or wrong way to
right.
do it.
So whatever you want to do, we're gonna do it. Um, Before I get into the topic, I want to know a little more about you, Mark, and I'm gonna let T start with the questions.
Oh, I thought you was gonna start with the definition first.
No,
Nah.
we'll come back to it.
Alright.
we're winging it today.
Yeah.
So again, I'm Mark Morden. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
This is
Thank you for
amazing. I
coming.
love what you're doing here. And so primarily, my company is Zoom Shoot Photo and Video Production, and we create content for small businesses, municipalities, school districts, nonprofits, and we've been in business since 2012. And we also film live events, so we do a lot of conferences. We do a lot of live streaming for events like high school graduations, and so we stay pretty busy. Um, the we recognize that every organization has to have a web presence.
Mhm.
That web presence has to have something on it. It has to have content, photo and video content. And so we create that content that enables organizations to gain additional exposure to their brand, which drives traffic to their door. And so that's what we do. I've been working in this space pretty much my all of my adult life. I took television broadcast, studied it formally. I attended DePaul University for a little while, and then I worked as an intern with the television station here in Detroit. So, been working in content production and marketing for a little while now.
You know what? This might be just totally out of left field, but I'm interested to know, like, what was your adjustment during COVID?
So, COVID was actually good and bad for us.
Okay.
It was terrible because of the situation that we were in. But because a lot of organizations, particularly like churches, didn't know how to get online. And so we did some consulting to some churches and showed them how to broadcast their Sunday services online. So good and bad. And I'm really happy to see that some of those churches that didn't have a budget to begin with, and we had to show them how to stream with an iPad, right? And now they have a nice little production, and so
That's great.
that's
You
pretty
know
cool.
what else I noticed since COVID is digital obituaries
Hmm.
and people going online for the funeral.
Yeah, it was
Never
a
seen that
thing.
before.
It was a thing. We didn't do any of those projects, but I saw it. We had some opportunities to lean a little bit into that work, and but we didn't do it.
Understood. So
Mhm.
you just mainly conferences, graduations, nonprofit organizations.
Right.
Okay.
And then we create content for doctors' offices, lawyers' offices that that don't have the in-house capability to do it for themselves, right?
Okay.
And so at one point, you know, small businesses would have their office manager, take some pictures or maybe a little video. But organizations that are interested in competing, genuinely competing with their competition, they have to step up their game, right? The only way you do better than your competition is that you have to do more than your competition. And so that's where they will, you know, call someone that specializes in that field.
Okay. So what's one of the projects that you're most proud of that you had the opportunity to take advantage of?
Um, I guess one of the things, I mean, I like all of our work, and that's one of the benefits of what I do is that I've been able to turn my hobby into a career. But one of the projects that I always enjoy doing, and we've done it a couple of times, is we do the live broadcast for Birmingham schools graduations. And year before last, it was at Shane Park or the Aretha Franklin now, and this year it was at Meadowbrook.
Okay.
So those are always fun.
So I'm also interested to know, like, if you've been doing this since 2012, I think you said, move this water for you. There had to be at some point a leap from your normal corporate 9 to 5 to this is what it is that we're about to do, honey. Like, how was that? How did that go over in your household? How did that go over, like, in your mind?
So actually, technically, it was 2005
Okay.
when I started working for myself.
Uh-huh.
And that is when we decided to start online streaming for events. And a good friend of mine, shout out to Drake Pfeiffer, he was he has an organization called Urban Organic, and he was Urban Organic, yeah. So
It
so
sounds familiar though, for real. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
so
Mm.
he started with producing concerts with a lot of emerging neo soul artists, and then I would film them. And whenever the opportunity, where there was a venue that had high speed internet,
Mhm.
because remember this, you know, in the early 2000s, broadband wasn't everywhere,
Right.
and we would stream the, you know, whenever we could, we would stream those events. So that started in 2005.
Okay.
And I was working for AT&T, and one day I came home and told my wife that, you know what, I'm done working for the
Damn.
man.
Yes. I don't know.
And so you can imagine how that conversation went.
Right. Like, what? So let me
So-
ask
How are
you.
we going? How are we
So-
going to sustain ourselves?
Right.
Right. How we gonna eat?
And
Pay the bills.
so
What you been making happen?
fortunately, knock on wood, we haven't missed any meals.
Good. Now, why you? I didn't. I just heard that Jeezy was in town the other day, and that he live streamed his concert, which I never heard before. I never heard of anyone live streaming a concert.
The concert was dope.
You went?
We want no, it didn't go.
Oh,
I didn't know
Look,
about
I'm jealous instantly.
I
Like,
didn't
you went.
I didn't know about it, but I watched it. The live stream was pretty glitchy though.
Okay.
You know,
What did
It was on
stream
YouTube.
yeah, he streamed it on YouTube for free.
Probably because so many people were watching, maybe.
And what's up with the Carnelo and Crawford fight? That was glitchy. Like, they ain't got it together.
That's
We
right.
got enough money,
You know what? So
Not enough bandwidth.
excellency.
so I don't understand why the Carmelo fight was glitchy,
Did you see it?
but no, I didn't see it.
Ah, fool.
I heard about it.
Oh, man.
And then with with the Jeezy show, it from what I can tell, so when you live stream, everyone in your audience, they have their phones going too,
Yeah.
right? Everyone's going live.
Right.
So everyone is eating up that bandwidth. So typically what you have is you have a private stream that's specifically for the stream, and then you have a Wi-Fi stream that's for the public.
Okay.
And you want to have your live stream on its own private account. Well, what'll happen, what it looks like with the Jeezy on at his concert at the Fox, it looked as though there wasn't two separate accounts. They might have been on two different segments of the same account. it should have its own account to where the two aren't even touching each other.
Understood.
The live stream can just be the live stream, and then the audience, the public, where everyone's on their Wi-Fi, they can have that, and they don't affect each other. So I don't know. I wasn't there. I can
But
just speculate
Was
from
it still
experience.
enjoyable though?
It was enjoyable from the standpoint that
You ain't pay for it.
well, we were able to, I had the TV on the wall and the sound bar, the speakers and everything. So, we were able to enjoy it from the perspective that, we enjoyed the music and he did put on a good show. But, it really, it detracted from the
Understood.
actual entertainment.
Did y'all dress up?
No.
What?
Dress up in the living room.
Why? I know y'all suited and booted.
Mm,
I'm dressing up. I don't know what to tell y'all. I'm there.
I didn't
I'm just here. But
I didn't even know
that's why this
was
streaming
the
wasn't
thing.
going good for you.
maybe that's
You
it.
wasn't. You ain't
weren't
had the
prepared.
energy
May-
going.
Maybe
Okay, so on that note, we're gonna read the imposter syndrome definition by Merriam-Webster. And it reads, a psychological condition that is characterized by persistent doubt concerning one's abilities or accomplishments, accompanied by the fear of being exposed as a fraud despite evidence of one's ongoing success. Now, I will be the first to admit that I have suffered from imposter syndrome. It hasn't stopped me, even before I knew what it was. And I want to know, have you ever
Never.
suffered from it?
I am who I think I am.
Okay.
Wow.
high
Mark.
self-actualization.
Yeah.
So I think imposter syndrome comes out of insecurities, and I think we all have a certain level of insecurity, and that doesn't mean that it's going to stop us.
Right.
I don't know that I have, because typically imposter syndrome comes from someone who is an achiever, but yet they don't necessarily feel as if
They
that
belong.
their achievements are worthy of the accolades that they receive. And so typically, you can be have insecurities but still be an achiever. You can have imposter syndrome and still be an achiever. I think that the challenge is when we don't give ourselves the grace, and when we so for me, I just say the hell with them.
Right.
Okay, I am who I am. Either you're with me or you're not. And some people give themselves probably more credit than they deserve. In many cases, we see a lot of politicians that do that.
Yeah.
But then a lot of times I think we need to be able to have the confidence to know that if we have put the work in, we've showed up, we've presented our best authentic selves possible, then there's no more to give, right?
Yeah.
Once you've given your all, and every day you wake up, try to be a better version of yourself than the previous day, there's no more to give. And once you've given your best, whoever doesn't like it, well, they can kick rocks.
You already know. It's right
For
there.
me,
What's
it's
the-
never it's never been a case of being concerned about what anybody else thinks. It's always been like, I know where I came from, and I know that a lot of my paths and or accomplishments were not on my radar. It was not, going to college was not on my radar.
It had
Let
to be for
alone
you to
going
go.
to, it wasn't.
Mhm.
I didn't think it was something that I could accomplish.
What about art?
Art has always been a part of my life in some form or fashion. I love art. I started collecting art as a child at the from the African World Fest. I started collecting masks. and studying art, I didn't think that it was something that I would do in the capacity in which I'm doing it right now. It's not something that I set out to do it as an adult to illustrate my children's books, to teach myself illustration. And so the paintings came about. I've painted, it's always been abstract. It was never really meant to share with anybody else outside of them coming to my home and seeing the art on my wall that I probably created to cover up a hole or something that I couldn't fix myself. So, but college, I did it because when I decided to go, I didn't have a choice but to go. I've always been a learner. I'm a lifelong learner. I've always liked to learn, but I just didn't think that college was for me. I was very timid by the big classes, the study
Study
halls
halls.
and stuff like that until I went to Wayne
Lecture
State
halls.
one day and with somebody else, and I realized that not all the classes were like
College
really
a
big.
lifelong learner.
So so then I decided that, you know, I was gonna go. But I was pregnant with my son too. So he kind of saved me and gave me some direction. It was like, you gotta do something.
Yeah, no,
So I did it.
I always been the exact opposite. Like I am who I think I am, but also I do stuff to prove other people wrong. So if you think that I can't do it, and I know that I
Well-
can, I'm about to show you. So that imposter syndrome is not what it is for me.
But
It's
sometimes
something though, but it
yeah.
ain't that.
I think that so when I was younger, I heard my stepfather tell my mother that I wasn't gonna be anything and basically have a bunch of kids by a bunch of different men. And I never believed that because that ain't what I wanted. I knew I didn't want that for myself.
I had principals and
But-
teachers and parents tell me something like that.
Well, yeah, because I was very precocious. So I'm sure a lot of people expected the worst from me. Like, you know, how we not we,
I
but
just
people
wasn't buying
villainize
they
young
bull. You just
black
can't tell me anything.
boys. I got that as a young girl. But I also had a balance because there were other people, educators and people in the community who they saw
Poured
the
into
best.
you.
Yeah, they saw the best and they poured into me. And which I'm glad because that gives me the ability to see the best in others and also try to have an understanding, especially when it comes to children, why they do the things that they do, not write them off, villainize them, and throw them away. But sometimes I do. I've gotten to the point now where I don't care. I don't listen to myself. I'm just like, you gonna do it? And I always have. I've done things despite being apprehensive, despite worrying about what the outcome is gonna be. And I've never really, if you do tell me I can't do something, if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. I, you know, that challenge is there. But it's not something that stopped me. But I know that there are a lot of people who are dope. They're great. They're excellent. But sometimes they don't feel like they should be there. And I remember when my first exhibit that I was in at the Car Center, a friend told me, and I don't know what behavior I was displaying, but she was like, you belong here. You belong there. Go. And I mean, once they accepted my art and chose my art, I felt like I belong
I've
here because I
arrived.
believe art is in the
Yeah.
eye of the beholder.
Right.
And having studied art from various centuries and ethnic groups, I really do believe that. But not so much for the art, but I will say, like, you know, sometimes I can't believe that I'm in the position, some of the positions that I'm in. And
It's called blessing, favor.
and yeah, and being fortunate. And I do realize that I've put myself in a position
Right.
to
You put in the work.
right. But sometimes it is hard to believe, like, especially when like you compare yourself to other people or you're looking at the people who you look up to or your favorites. You like, if I can't do it like that, I'm not doing it, or I can't do it. So
And it's important to realize that 9 times out of 10, if you were ever able to look behind the curtain at some of the people that we look up to, we realize that they're just regular
They're
people.
just people.
and they've had challenges, and I know nothing happens overnight. There's a development. I mean, some of us are born with gifts, but you still have to cultivate it. You have
still
to
gotta-
foster it.
yeah.
Mhm.
And there are challenges beyond what the gift may be, and we always see what's on the surface. We don't see what's under the
Understood.
water
Mhm.
of the iceberg. So I get all of that. I really do. And I appreciate that. But I also know that the imposter syndrome is real. And it's until you talk about it and open up about it, you don't realize how many people actually are suffering from it.
That's sad.
So, how do you feel about your your place in art, in the art world, now that you are really starting to
And you just sold a piece
starting to-
yesterday.
starting to bubble?
Last week or
Last week,
sometime.
yeah.
So, like, did you expect your stuff to sell?
I never go in it with the expectation to sell. I of course in exhibit most of the time you have to put a price tag on it. I'm just excited to be a part of an exhibit, able to showcase my
Mhm.
work and to see the reactions
People
and thoughts
appreciate it.
of other people. That's intriguing to me. Um so I never, when I do sell, I'm happy about it, but I never go in it with that expectation, because art for me is therapy. It's cathartic. And especially it's gratifying when somebody else does appreciate your work. And I will say that the pieces that I'm usually not the fondest of are the pieces that other people rave about.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So I've had to learn to let it go and and put it in the universe, share it, and let people do what they do, and not hold on to it and worry about it once I'm done with it. Now the pieces sometimes that I really love and I want to hold on to, sometimes people buy those too.
Yeah.
But I was told by Damien Deontay that I couldn't be selfish, that I needed to let it go. And so I do. And so I started creating stuff on the wall, so we don't have to worry about exhibiting outside the house. Nobody's gonna come and
Just cut the
buy
wall
it off
out.
the
You'll be
wall,
surprised.
right?
Well,
Make the
well,
print.
listen, real talk. You showed me the piece that you had on your door. I was like, man, that would be dope just to buy the whole damn door, right?
We would have to touch it up, but then so you got art on the other side too. But
Right.
you have to make
That's what I was talking
you
about.
have to make sure you have the space for it, unless you're gonna prop it up.
Well,
or
I
you're
mean, in like a gallery or something, it could be pretty sweet. Yeah. But yeah, you know, the in my work, I feel like there's always competition, and we are constantly comparing ourselves to our competition and seeing what others are doing. And
That's the killer of joy.
it is,
I mean, there has
That's
to
gonna
be a
keep you in the
benchmark.
business.
I understand that,
it-
but
it
that's the
is-
killer of joy.
it is. However, you also have to have a frame of reference of what's out there,
Like a benchmark.
a benchmark, and you have to be able to understand what's trending, what's not, what is what is the cool new tech that's starting to bubble. So you have to have your finger on the pulse of what's going on, but you also need to, you know, have your own style and your own flavor
Right.
that you come with and that you hope is identifiable. And because in my work, in photography and video production, that's my art, right?
Mm.
And so I think that it should be distinguishable, and I should be able to to differentiate my work against someone else's.
Mm.
And but at the same time, you know, when you see somebody that does something really dope, and you're like, wow, right? So so you do have to be careful because you can play yourself. You can get in your head if you are not pretty, steadfast in your own position.
Mhm.
So content creators, we see that a lot on Facebook, but a lot of the times what I see is people recycling content that they pirated or just sharing because we had a share option, but they're not really creating any content. So define what content creation is in your words.
So creating content is just that. So when we talk about social media, anything that you are creating that people can watch, whether it's they get it's something that they can learn something from, if it's entertainment, if it is um, educational, whatever the case may be, that's content.
Mhm.
So it's so anything that goes on online technically is considered content, but there's content can take a lot of different forms in terms of the creation. A lot of people will create their own content to build their own channel, to grow their following, to monetize their channels. And then there are, content creators like me. I develop content for my clients.
Mhm.
And then there's content creators like yourself and T, you know, this this show right now, it's technically content. And so I think we should own our space, whatever that looks like, and embrace it because I think that the show that you guys are doing here is pretty dope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Um,
And it's unique.
my art is terrible, but
Okay.
but
Your conversation.
but this is a lot of fun.
Yeah. We're going
It's a
art
release
into Brian.
too.
Yeah.
So he asked you what project that you are most proud of. I want to know what project that you were given creative freedom that you had the most fun with.
You know, I think the projects that's a good question. The projects that give me the most freedom, that I'm able to have the most fun with, are typically when we're doing promotional projects, when or we're doing highlight reels of an event. And that's when we can get creative, we can have fun, um, do we can experiment with different camera angles, we can bring out the drone, and we can just have a lot of fun. Those are the projects that we really, that I personally and my team, that we really, have the most fun with.
Mhm. How many people are on your team? Or does it depend on the
So,
project?
so for the most part, the video production and photography is mostly freelancers.
Mhm.
And so I have about 6 or 7 people that I call pretty regularly to help me with projects,
Okay.
depending on what it may be, whether it's um, a photography project, or someone needs photography for a gala event or a fundraising event or a
We do weddings and stuff.
most of our stuff is business, commercial. We don't really do weddings. We don't do a lot of family stuff.
Okay, so
Um,
this the part of the conversation where you get to market yourself and let the people know exactly what it is that you do. Let them know any handles, how they can get in contact.
So Zoom Shoot, ZoomShoot is who we are. Zoom Shoot photo and video, and it's zoomshoot.com. and that's where you can search for us on any platform, and visit us on our website.
So instead of saying like what you don't do, just tell people what you do. I know you do the commercials.
So we do, again, video production for small businesses, whether that's commercials, promotional videos where we'll do a business profile that talks about you, your product, and what makes you special in the marketplace. And then we'll do, again, if you have in a conference, a gala event, a seminar, we'll come out, we can film the actual event, we can live stream the event, we will help to promote you online. So then we'll take that content and then we'll run your social media channels and run your Google ads with that content. And so, yeah, so we do that for, we do stuff. We got a call recently from the city of Southfield, and we've done a lot of stuff. We've been in their magazines. Some of our stuff is on their web page, the heading of their web page. So we do a lot of work for organizations that, again, just don't have the in-house capacity to do a lot of the stuff themselves. And a lot of times they do have in-house. The city of Southfield has their own marketing team. Ferndale Schools has their own marketing team, but there are some things that they just aren't proficient.
It's something that you have.
Birmingham
that they don't.
Schools has their own marketing department, but there's sometimes their team may have a spot where they don't have a great deal of experience.
So, for an example, you can talk to us about, in the audience, about the project you're working on for Candles and Karaoke. And for those who don't know, Candles and Karaoke is our company where we make candles. We have a candle making workshop, and then while we let the candles solidify, we do karaoke, and that has been very fun. Me. We have a date coming up for Sweetie's Day, and Mark and his team are working on what, Mark?
So that's going to be a promo video, and that's something. So when you asked about the kind of stuff that I enjoy most, that's the fun stuff. So that's when we get to get creative, get a little crazy, and we are able to produce a piece, 60-minute piece that you can put on your social media that attracts people to your event, right? And to help spread the word about what you're doing. It'll be short, sweet. We're asking you to have your favorite customers give us a quick testimonial, 3 seconds. Tell us about the last events that they've attended, and then we'll get some information, a quick sound bite from you, and you will make your case and your call to action and invite folks out, and that's going to be Saturday, October 18th. And it's going to be a great time. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So you and the wife are coming, right?
We will be there.
Okay.
And so y'all gotta wear pink.
No, they wear red.
I mean red, exactly.
They don't have to. It's
You
optional.
got to.
So red is for married
Couples.
people,
No, couples.
couples,
Yeah.
and then
Pink or purple.
pink
is
or purple is for
singles.
singles.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it, because if you come in there with some pink or purple, they gonna be on your ass. You better wear
Ah,
you better wear some red. You and your lovely wife wear some red.
okay. I'll make
Make
sure
sure.
we wear
You
red.
better. Yeah, that's
that'll-
gonna be real nice. I'm
that'll be
excited.
fun.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I'm waiting on a few people to send some. So I think I did
I'll
upload a
owe you some
video
money,
for you.
Yeah.
And I'm working on my video. I did get a flyer today, so I can send that to you too.
Mhm.
I don't know, I'm
So
excited.
so let me ask you this: your upcoming candles and karaoke.
Mhm.
So with this event, is it only these are the candles that you make, or is there going to be any painting or anything else, or just just the candles?
Just the candles and the karaoke. We're doing a mix and mingle too. So the itinerary is a
Mm.
mix and mingle to begin with, and then we'll do the workshop, and then we'll do the karaoke. Typically, we don't do a mix and mingle, but from the past events, I think that
People
it
want to
might be
mix and mingle.
Yeah,
necessary.
and then a sweetie
Right,
steak,
and
so.
it's Sweetie's Day, so or Sweetest Day. I say Sweetie's Day.
Hmm.
We will have drinks or spirits crafted by Cold Peace,
Mm.
Kenya, and so you can purchase drinks from her. You can't bring your own drinks, but you can bring your own snacks, and we'll have some type of like refreshments available for people. But
Yeah. And so you've done this a couple times before,
few times,
and so I hear that they've always, people love them. So is this something you think you might want to keep it going?
It is. We do
Yes.
corporate events, baby showers, breakups, makeup. We do it all. We do
For candles and
Yeah.
karaoke?
Yeah, so
Really?
we come to the house, girls' night, bridal showers, birthday parties,
corporate events.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
and I've done it at the library. I'm gonna have one at the library to be free. Holiday candles and karaoke.
Mm.
So
And when you say at the library, because you are a librarian.
yes.
Okay. All
You letting
right.
the cat out the bag.
I think everybody knows. If they don't know. It's not a secret. But
Well, I'm sure there may be one or two new viewers.
I hope so.
I
Hey
hope
y'all,
so. Hey y'all.
old and new, past and future.
Hmm.
Thank you for tuning in. So, I had a bunch of questions to ask you, and they kind of like have just escaped me. So, did you have any more questions for me?
I'm thinking.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think that you'll ever step into like the arena of making films since you do commercials and hour-long?
So we're working on a documentary right now.
Awesome.
And so, in terms of feature film, I'm not sure if I want to get into a feature film, which is a whole long film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Short films, yeah, where, we've done some of that stuff before, and those are fun. We've done music videos, and so, but yeah, and short film is fun to do.
What's the project that you haven't done that you want to do?
I think something that would be kind of near and dear to my heart is I would love to tell the story about the 67 riots. And there has been stories, but I haven't seen anything that's current, that's recent, that really goes in depth. We have relationships with some of the people who were there. Okay.
My mom has stories
Yeah.
and was friends with one of the young men
Yeah,
that were killed.
yeah,
And they
yeah.
were supposed to meet up that night, and he was murdered.
Mm,
So,
mhm. So that's what I mean. So there's some inside stories, some more personal human interest stories that I would love to tell. So
yeah.
so those kind of stories would be interesting to tell.
I'm glad to know that you're doing the documentaries because I have a couple that I would like to do. One on, I would like to interview and get the stories of people who have experienced um, colorisms um, in their lives and talk about how that impacts them, men and women, because both have experienced it. And that's something that's near and dear to me. Just, growing up and experiencing certain things and just hearing the stories from my mother and other people, things that I've heard other people say that were very shocking to me. Yes. And initially I wanted to do like an anthology, but I really think that doing a documentary would be more impactful and reach more people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing about documentaries is that, you know, once you tell the story, it's out there forever. And future generations will be able to learn from it.
Yeah, I would hope. I would hope so. Yeah. Oh, I wish these questions would come back to me. I should have wrote them down.
You got any other events that you want to promote?
The exhibit at the congregation is still going on until the 28th, I believe. And the exhibit at WC3 District College, Wayne County Community College District, is happening through November 5th. So please check that out. There's like 80 plus artists there. Make sure you check the times to see when the exhibit is open. I think it's just Monday through Friday, but I could be mistaken. And comedy show. So
And you do comedy.
I'm starting. I'm getting my feet wet. But I will be a part of a show November 1st, the Big Comedy Show, hosted or presented by Sean P. Williams. And that is November 1st at the International Institute. The tickets are $30. I have tickets. Please buy them from me so I can get rid of them. I hate selling tickets. But and Sean knows this, so I should only have 10. Should sell those really quick, but it should be a really nice show. There's like I think 3 or 4 other people who will get on stage and make us laugh. So comedy is a signal booster of the soul, and it's very necessary.
Very necessary.
Yeah, especially during the climate that we're in, and there's always conflict, but we definitely need to laugh rather than cry.
Conflicty now.
Yeah. So was there anything else? Did I forget something?
Nah, let me think. The comedy show, the candles and karaoke, the 2 different exhibits, your events that's coming up, your business, your handle.
I can be reached on She Nominal Inc. That's my Instagram. That's SHENOMENALINK. And for Facebook, it's Stephanie Wafazikis. I'm on TikTok, SF Hardy. I hardly do TikTok. Did they give them another extension? We were
Yes.
talking about it
Oh.
yesterday.
Oh, no, I don't know. I heard them talking about it. They say they
Yeah.
came up with a deal, but we don't know what that is yet.
Okay, so I'm on there. I go on every once in a while.
I've never shared this with you all. However, on all platforms, T Arch my boss, TEEMY BALL.
Now you've said this, so you have to.
I ain't gotta.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I don't wanna do that. TEEARCHMYBALLS.
Why won't you tell us
Because
why?
it ain't none of their business. I'll tell y'all, but that ain't for them.
Oh. Is it explicit?
None of their business. Yeah. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
me. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What's the other one?
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
It's one more.
No.
Snapchat.
Are you on YouTube?
No.
So we are streaming on YouTube and Facebook. And we also have some more recordings that we have not put out yet, but we will put out eventually. Right, Rico? With some
Are we still live? Are we still going? Oh, okay.
Very dope guests.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
we had our guest sign the door today before we started, so we didn't forget. So there are a few guests that need to come back and sign the door.
Carlton.
Yeah.
Who just came last week? Oh, Donald.
Donald forgot to sign?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's more because I don't think I had finished it.
Did all the girls
Carlton
sign
didn't
it? All the authors?
Yeah, they did sign.
Every last one of them?
They signed. Yep. Now, yeah, so-
And then the actors.
Robert and Aria, they signed.
Oh, it's
Yes.
just Carlton and Donald.
Hey y'all.
Hey y'all. Hey.
And the ones that the people who came, the guests who came and when we were recording, they have to come back and sign. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
before me.
we're looking
All
forward
right.
to
This
that.
thing like a makeup kit, y'all. It's so pretty.
So y'all want to show y'all work?
Yeah,
No.
She get on my nerves
So-
with that too, cause she always want to show her workout.
No, usually
I
Rico
love it,
asks-
darling.
See,
Yes.
It's very darling. Look like all you need is little circles, and they could be like the little Christmas.
well,
ornaments.
it's an incomplete work. So I'm still
You gonna take it home and finish it?
working
You
on
have
it.
some markers at home.
We're gonna call this piece to be continued.
That's what it's
What is
called.
your favorite
But-
tool
My favorite tool.
for your trade? And we didn't talk about your marketing. Let's talk before we end this. Let's talk a little bit about the marketing.
So, what do you want to know?
Everything
Well,
that
so
we could say in
for a
15
long
minutes.
time, we have talked about me coming to you to have you help me with my marketing on my children's books.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad to finally get you here.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of my delay was it's usually finances. So if I don't have the money, I have to learn how to figure it out. But we want to know, like, what do you do in terms of the marketing? We talked a little bit about it with the candles and karaoke, but
Mm-hmm.
how do you come up with your strategies for marketing your clients?
So we typically start with a market analysis to understand where the client is in relation to what their audience is, what their audience wants to see. If they are a brick and mortar organization, what is their competition within a certain mile radius? You know, different businesses will have a different draw. Say a cleaners might have a 3 mile or 5 mile radius. A really nice restaurant might have a 15-mile radius, right? So you look at what the organization's goals are, and from there you look at what their market analysis is. How many customers are there within their area that can support their business? So if you hypothetically speaking, if you have, let's say, 10,000 customers in your neighborhood, but only 100 of them are going to eat, vegan food, then maybe you want to move to an area where there's more more vegetarians, right? You want to look at, and if you have too many of the same business in an area, then maybe that's not a good area for you. So these are when we talk about when we deal with startup companies, when we deal with this, or emerging companies, small businesses. When we look at established companies like a car dealership or a law office, we have a different approach. So, and that's where we look at what they've done in the past and we just try to capitalize on it at a better price, right? And give them more exposure. We give them better Google ads. We give them better content to put in their Google ads. And so it just depends on where the business is and what their goals are. And the goal is always to generate more money, right? And you want to have a return on your investment. So, we'll sit down and devise a strategy for what that looks like. So, like for, your case, when you talk about your book, how many books do you have now?
4 children's books.
4 children's books. Congratulations for
Thank
that.
you.
That's an achievement. So, if you want to bring more attention to your children's books, then there's a few things that you can do that's cost effective. I think, when you talk about developing content for your marketing strategy, it could be as simple as showing kids enjoying your book, right? It can be, you at the library reading to kids and seeing them enjoy the book. And there are a number of techniques and strategies that you can take that would bring attention to your product. And so you want to gain more exposure, and you want to gain more credibility so that people recognize your product and trust your product and know that they can depend on it, because at the end of the day, whenever someone is spending their money, they are making a judgment call on whether they trust you or not.
Agreed.
Whether they trust that when they spend their money, are they going to be happy with the product? So, there are a number of fun, creative things that you can do that would, help bring more attention to your product.
Now, thank you for that. Do you do print media, or do you outsource that if that's a need?
We're all digital.
Okay.
Everything we do is online. We may be able to help a little with some print stuff.
Okay.
We have contacts and we have resources.
Okay.
We can help, but that's not everything we do is digital.
Now,
And it typically stems from the content that we create.
okay. The questions are coming back to me.
Okay.
We didn't get a chance to talk about you being a collector, as well
Mhm.
as I want to talk a little bit about how you became a collector of fine art,
Mhm.
as well as the organization that you sat on the board for and what they're about.
Mhm. So, um, you know, we typically you see a piece of art that matches your furniture,
Mhm.
right? And so we thought we were doing something. And then we realized that it makes better sense to acquire pieces that are original and that matches the furniture,
Mhm.
because those pieces will appreciate in value.
Mhm.
Whereas something that you get from Target, it's not going to appreciate, right?
Good.
And so a few years ago, we started learning about how to collect, what to look for. I sat on a board with an organization called the Torch of Wisdom Foundation. So it's based in Southfield, and we would host an annual what we call art extravaganza.
Mm.
And that is where we would have dates where we would invite artists and collectors to come and learn about how to collect art, and and to teach artists how to prepare their art so it's marketable,
Incredible. Yeah.
and particularly marketable to serious collectors. And making sure your signature is on the front
Mhm.
and it's legible,
He did
because
ask me that the other day.
I
Like,
hate
I
that.
don't see your signature, but
Absolutely
it's
hate it,
definitely Mr. Harper is
Mhm.
very
he's
big
very
on
yes.
signing the front, and the only time that I won't sign the front, in addition to the back, is if I put it on the side. So
Mhm.
if it's one of the paintings where I don't want to mess with the integrity,
And that's
or it's so small,
yeah.
it's just
Hate
better
it
on the
down.
side.
And that's fine. The point is that you want your piece to be attributed to you,
Right.
and you want people to say, "Oh, that's Stephanie's work," and without question. And so it instantly increases the value. The other thing is that as an artist, you want to make sure that you are exhibiting your work, that you are establishing a name for yourself. Because when I look for a piece of art to purchase, I want to purchase a piece from an artist that's making a name for themselves. I don't want a piece that no one has ever heard of, right? And so, because that piece isn't going to grow in value. And so Mr. Henry Harper says you are buying money. Okay, you're actually buying money when you purchase a good piece of art and hang it on your wall. Then yes, you can enjoy it, but when we talk about developing generational wealth, you can also you're also handing down money in your estate to your family, and your kids will be able to not only appreciate it hanging on the wall, but it also adds to their net worth.
Awesome. Shout out to everybody who has
Yeah.
supported me and has purchased art for their
Let
collections.
me say this. Your art is amazing.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mark.
And I may be doing
you,
some
too.
shopping today. There's one thing about art, it can become addictive
Mhm.
when you start to really get into it. But your stuff is really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, for to the folks at home, I you should be looking out for, and I always can never say your last name right. Fazekas,
Yep.
You got it.
Fazekas, Stephanie
Yeah.
Fazekas.
Yeah.
Look for that name, folks. You won't be disappointed.
No.
Thank you.
And she just sold some pieces. I keep trying to tell you.
Mhm.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Well,
Did you talk about your marketing? Because we
Yeah,
got to go in. We got to
you
play with
did. You hungry, aren't you?
you. Nah,
I'm hungry.
I ate on the way
I did
here.
not eat. Oh, you bring
Stuff
that
my
for me?
face, my leftover lunch from work.
We'll let you
Yep.
get
Well,
away
it
with
was
that.
a pleasure meeting you, Mark. Thank you for coming. Again, where can we find you? Again, what is the name of your company?
So Zoom Shoot, photo and video production, and it's ZOOMSHOOT.com. And again, Zoom Shoot, you can find us anywhere online in all the platforms. And my name is Mark Morden, Morden, and I'm really happy that you guys invited me here. This has been an awesome time, and I can't wait to come back.
I was
I
just
told
about to
you you
ask
had
you, are you
something to
coming back?
contribute.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you came.
Yeah.
It was a really good time. Hopefully, it was informal enough that you feel comfortable.
This was cool.
You sound like the real deal Holyfield. I had a joker tell me he was a digital ambassador and this, that, and that. I'm like, you take pictures at the club. Go sit down somewhere. If you don't knock it off.
With that said, we are going to end
Jokers, I'm
tonight's
telling you.
session. Thank you all for tuning in. We really appreciate you. We hope you enjoyed the show. There were a lot of jewels dropped as usual. Thanks again, Mark, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
T. And we'll see you all next time. Peace.
Bye.